Album Review, the podcast where four totally unqualified guys review a different album every week in the hope of broadening our knowledge of music. However, we are easily swayed off topic and have no real idea what we are talking about. Today's album
is Architects, for those that wish to exist.
Hi guys. It's me.
Hi Joe.
It's another metal one. Sorry about that. But
my favourite.
But there's but and I'm scared. I'm scared to talk about this, and I kind of hate that I'm going first because I have genuinely no idea how you guys are going to react to this and just like what you thought of it. I don't know, because you know it was the classic thing as I was listening to it, and I was like, how can the guys not like this?
Classic Joe.
But then anytime I do
So
think
naive.
that, it's like, Joe, this was the fucking worst. Please stop picking these albums. So I'm going to go ahead and say I thought this was amazing. Definitely probably my favourite album. And it wasn't at first. It was the classic...
his favourite album.
No, of
just full
Architects.
stop. It's a 10 out of 10, boys.
Just of Architects type of thing. I think it's my favourite album.
What did you rate the last one, though?
I think I give it a 9. I'm not going to lie.
Wow.
This just had a lot more depth to it. It had a lot more emotion. It had a lot more singy choruses, and I think you're turning me. I think it's happening. I'm slowly becoming more a fan of like the more melodic stuff. I feel
you're becoming a fan of actual real music now.
No,
like nice melodies and things. That sound nice.
He gave the last one a 9. Yes.
Sometimes I still like that dirty, gritty shit.
I still really like appreciate like the heavy bangers.
But how can you appreciate something which is just like?
Because it just vibes with me.
It sounds bad, and
it doesn't sound
not difficult to do.
The tones are so rich and pure.
No,
you know?
They're not rich because it's about as rich as putting fucking cement in your gravy.
Just eat impure gravy granules.
It's just it's so rich. Oh, I can feel my body seizing up with richness. No, that's the cement. You're dying.
Have you guys ever ate gravy straight out the granule pot? The instant gravy?
No, not deliberately.
It doesn't taste nice.
Strong.
It's very salty. 10 out of 10 would recommend. But this album, this band means a lot to me, right? Because they're like, these guys are like the king of the genre that they do, right? They're like the most.
Fuck off!
Oh, fuck off!
They're always there for you when you need them, you know.
No, not in that way, but just like they were one of the first bands that I got into when I started listening to this music, and you know. But it has to grow on me, right? Because my first, obviously I listened to this album a little bit before picking it. And I was kind of just like, yeah, meh. They've gone in a different direction. Not sure if it gels with me. And throughout the week of listening to this, every time I listened to it, my top 3 changed. And I think that's just to go to show like how good a lot of the songs were. Don't get me wrong, not all of them were as strong as the rest, but like every time something changed, I think he shows a lot more emotional impact. Everything sounded big and just you're in it, you know, guys.
You're in it.
I'm not in it, but carry on.
Yeah, I was gonna say, with all due respect, and this is genuinely me being genuine, I could not tell the difference between any of the songs half the time.
See that just I can't understand that, because they all had their like own unique vibe.
No,
they all had their own
Joe,
really
I have a note here
distinct
that just says
choruses.
Every time I listened to this album, it rolled over after I finished to another metal album, and I would never notice the difference. I don't get that anything had changed.
I don't get that at all, because this is like so different.
I think probably the reason is because I have to be doing something else to listen to this album. Because if I just sit and I listen to it, I'm pretty sure I'd be hanging from the ceiling by the end of the song.
I feel like you didn't listen to it.
Yeah, Joe, you're right. No, hold up, Joe, you're right. I didn't listen to it. Album review's done.
There was a classic Hayden.
I just looked at these songs and I was like, that one sounds like it's probably bad.
The one with Winston in it's probably the best.
That one's 4 minutes 02. That'll be fine.
I can't believe you called me out so hard, Joe, and that I don't listen to your metal albums.
I know. You just you leave it until Sunday morning, and then you just listen to them all.
Quite ironic because
I
I do
what,
leave
actually.
them. I do leave them quite late usually because I don't want to put myself through it.
You don't give it time to grow on you. Then that's what you do. You don't give it time to grow.
No, right. I, similarly to Ada, thought that it was all the same at first, like not telling the difference, right? But then when I like break down the difference between each song, so I was like, oh, there is actually quite a lot of like change ups, especially the first like handful are pretty similar, but then after there are quite a lot of changes. The problem is every single song is so washed out vocally, it sounds awful.
What do you mean by washed out?
Like the way things are mixed together just means that every song just sounds like noise.
He sounds
Even
like
though
a backing singer in every song.
I just completely disagree with that.
No, he does also have like a lot of effects on his voice, like so much fucking reverb and shit that he just sounds like he's not there. He's just in the rafters.
I think everything is very definitive. I would completely disagree. I think the mix of like every song is just like perfect. You can hear like the guitars banging in your face, and you can hear his vocals carrying you through the emotion. This is a great review.
I'm just thinking, Joe, that like
yeah,
we've got like I feel like Denver when he brings up these points, a lot of the stuff that he says comes from like logic as opposed to like because like he's meant to, oh yes, this is what this is facts. Like, oh, this is there. Whereas like the rest of us, we tend to sort of go with our hearts a bit more in terms of like musical reviewing and stuff, and how it specifically makes us feel and stuff.
but I'm a sound engineer. And
I mean, yeah, I'm sure you could stand from both perspectives, but it stands to reason as to why you'd be so wrong if you did have that training.
anyway, I think their last album was a lot more riffy. You know the one that
sound
came out 2
engineer
years ago.
term.
Riffy.
It was more about the those kind of like really fast, like intricate guitar riffs, whereas this was just more about the vocals and more about like the passion behind it all.
Oh, then what the fuck happened, eh?
They succeeded. It was brilliant.
They sure didn't, Joe.
So, like I said, my top 3 changed all the time, just because I thought I had a clear idea what it was, and then the next listen, it would be like, oh no, completely different again. But my least favourite was actually Impermanence with Winston on it.
And that's like that's funny because that's like their most OG sounding one.
Now, the reason that is because I just didn't like I know Aiden's going to make fun of this, but I just didn't like how it was just top string just hitting it, you know?
That's metal though.
There was like,
Metal.
it's not.
That's literally all.
It's
of metal.
not. And
Yes, it is.
it was just a bit, there was just not a lot to it. It was just a bit boring. It was a bit
Like
more
all
on the
metal,
boring
yes.
side.
I've been doing analysis, and I think you don't actually like metal.
Right. It's
He's used
dirty.
his
Because
brain
it's always the most metal sounding ones on the album, on these metal albums, that you always say is your least favourite.
Well, actually, on this, I would argue that is the case, and that I think the more heavy ones were actually the weaker ones on the album.
Because it was the same with like Don Broco in their last album. Their like heavier songs were your least favourite.
Just they didn't do them very well.
Well, but you're telling me that these are the kings of metal and their metal songs are the worst songs.
Kings of metalcore.
So,
Kings of metal, but do more pop.
so who's the actual king of metal here, Joe?
Me.
I think it's Baby Killers, Feet Mummy.
Featuring Mummy.
Dream Mummy.
She's back.
So my big takeaway from this, right, was that I listened to this, and obviously the Bring Me the Horizon album came out not too long ago as well. And I think it's quite obvious that they took a lot of inspiration from Bring Me the Horizon, or either that, because obviously this has probably been in the works before that album came out.
They listened to it and was like, let's make something much worse.
Let's take inspiration from this and ruin it on every level.
No,
I don't know. I would
No.
argue that like it definitely did lean towards a Bring Me the Horizon vibe.
Oh yeah,
It did,
definitely.
it
It even
did. Like,
sounds like it.
he's
But
got
it's
a very,
just
he's got a
budget
very,
from
yeah.
Horizon.
He's got a very similar singing voice, like screaming voice. Sorry, singing voice probably a little bit weaker.
I'd argue it all sounds the same to me.
But the big thing is that I would listen to this and think, oh, this is fucking great. But then when you'd compare it to the Bring Me the Horizon's newest album, you're like, it's just not got that kind of definitive feeling, you know.
So every song on the Bring Me album felt different. This does
Different,
not
yeah.
feel.
And I think that's what this album lacks, is that definitiveness.
I thought what?
I'm telling you, it's because it's all washed out. When you
It's
actually
not. That's not
analyze
what-
it,
yeah.
the songs are different.
Yeah, they are.
But just to hear it in the background without really like trying to pick out the bits and like writing notes on the songs, it does just like one of my notes I put before I did my final listen was that they all sound the same because they're all the same washed out,
I just
horrible
completely
production.
disagree.
Yeah, I think the production was shoddy.
I think it was amazing.
Where
It felt the
not a
best
single
production they've ever
element
had.
ever sounded good.
I feel like the only times I felt like it wasn't washed out was when other singers came in, because then that's when you could tell something had actually changed in the fucking song.
Will's already paving the ground for Simon Neil to be his favourite.
It would be his favourite,
It's not my favourite, but
Good,
my
because it shouldn't be. It's a
my
bad
third
song.
favourite was Dead Butterflies. I loved the orchestra.
I love Dead Butterflies.
I loved it. I just loved
Nothing
killing
better than
butterflies.
ripping the wings off the butterflies.
You strap them to an electric chair.
I'd argue that's a little bit big for a butterfly.
Can you electrocute a butterfly? Is that a thing?
Yes.
Yeah, of course. You can electrocute anything. If
I
you're
just didn't know
brave
if they
enough.
were insulated or not.
It's like I put.
Yeah, but if you ram enough current
ocean.
through, even wood can conduct.
Because it always confuses me how we can be electrocuted because we're not made of metal.
But we're made of water.
But you can't electrocute water. It's
Pyramid
liquid.
has not seen
Pyramid
any
Wood.
media, any like pop culture, no video games or movies or anything where they put the
Or
cables
just-
in the water and
or
then someone
level 3
gets
science.
zapped walking through
No,
it.
level 2 science.
Just like logic goes out the window with German.
Is it because we're
but
70%
water, not
water?
electric? Yes.
Oh, okay. That's a cool fact.
Put that one.
Cool fact, we are 70% water.
Did you know we share like 90% of our DNA with cabbage?
I did know that, yeah.
That is actually big brain facts.
That explains a lot.
So you're closer to a cabbage than you are probably a monkey.
I was telling Will, this is like one of these, it is a semi-fact, but I may be misinterpreting what the actual fact was. That we are like, because of our like atoms in our body, we are like one carbon atom off being iron.
We're all Iron Men.
So we could very easily have all been Iron Men.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa. So yeah,
Or something like that.
third favorite was Dead Butterflies. The orchestra was amazing in that. Just had a really big emotional feel. You know, like goodbye. Yeah, it was good. That's how I sing it in the car.
Whenever I listened to that song, it made me think of that TikTok you sent us, Joe. The one with the guy saying like, "Oh, this is why I like metal lyrics over thingy lyrics." Because in the
Okay.
chorus of Dead Butterflies, he says, "Dead butterflies, dead butterflies, dead butterflies, dead butterflies."
Funny enough, my one note on that was repetitive.
So can we do a reverse version of that where we pick metal songs and then put one good
Wow.
like pop song in there?
is that the one where he just screams goodbye?
I felt
No, Dead Butterflies is what he sings. That's
he
another
does scream
one.
goodbye as well.
Goodbye.
So I feel like the guest artists in this album were kind of wasted. You had Winston McCall, which I can honestly not tell when he was in that.
Yes, you can.
I didn't.
Very much can. He sounds like he's fucking possessed. It's awful. It's the fucking worst thing ever.
I just assumed that
It's
was the
horrific.
architects guy.
Oh, it's so bad. Like, it's so bad.
Obviously, you've got Little Wonder with Mike Kerr in it, Royal Blood singer, just playing bass, kind of wasted.
No, he does sing in it, actually.
I was going to
Does
say,
he?
I'm pretty sure you hear
He
him.
literally sings in it.
Again, this is why I'm like, it's wasted, because I couldn't really tell.
I think your review's wasted.
Joe, I feel like every song was definitive, and I could tell when it changed.
Goliath with Simon Neil. Good use of that.
That's
but probably,
that's a bad song.
You definitely could tell him.
I tell you
Oh,
what.
you could, because there was a point where it just went really bad. it was from like the normal screaming to Simon Neil attempting to scream, which was actually cringy and funny at the same time.
So,
And that's why it's my favourite.
as much as I don't like Biffy Clyro, I actually felt like they should have used him more in this song. Because I actually really liked his part in it. I thought it was really
I thought
good.
it sounded great.
Yeah, I thought his part was probably one of the highlights of the song.
Well, so I don't care. I think he made the album, to be honest. I give it a 10. It's a 10!
It's a 10. It's got Simon Neil in it.
I love it. But I'm not biased, guys.
I think his part generally like made that song great. For me.
I think you need to re-listen.
And
to
it's
the
actually my second favourite on the album.
In an album lacking different things, it needed something.
It just had.
Oh no, it was different, but it was more like a different in the sense it was a left-hand turn into a lake.
So for me, Goliath kind of had everything. It had the heavy bits, it had the cool riffs, and then it had the kind of almost like old school rock type of style chorus as well with the guitars. It reminded me of like
Not Dead, am I right?
Reminded me of like three finger death punch, five finger death punch. Classic metal fan me. Yeah, I don't know if that's the band I was really wanting to reference there, but it kind of reminded me of that old school type of Nickelback.
Yeah, just like Nickelback.
Yeah, just like Nickelback.
When I think Architects, I think
Nickelback. So yeah, it had the heavy stuff, it had the really kind of cool chorus, and then it had like the awesome guest artist bit too. And I thought that was really good. But the best song overall, I thought, was Animals. Animals just had like the coolest chorus. It was just like the best song all around. I just thought it was the one that kind of gelled with me the most, that I was like singing to in the car the most. So yeah, that was my favourite. I think, on a side note though, I think what this album lacked as well was breakdowns. I felt like anytime there was a breakdown, it was a bit shit. Yeah. And the reason was it was just the same note, just played in different rhythmic patterns.
That is metal. That's fucking metal, Joe.
It's not. It
is. It's always the same.
It's not. You're absolutely fucking wrong.
And also, breakdowns are always just one note as well. They're just like. And they're like.
I just think
and then they get a fucking dog in there somewhere.
For a little bit of variation.
No, that was Simon Neil. God, come on.
No, Simon Neil goes.
Simon Neil has like a jog trying to bark, but you're strangling its neck.
I love you.
Oh my god. I'm so triggered.
This was just, that's all I hear, Joe. This is all I hear on
You're clearly
everyone.
not
If
listening.
anything, I think I would have actually preferred it if there was more just single note strumming.
Just keep hitting that one note on top string. You can do it. I've not even got fingers on fretboard. It's just making noise on its own.
Although, to be fair, if it was just a lot of one note playing, they'd have probably just added so much reverb and effects to it that you couldn't tell what the fuck was happening.
It just sounds like when anyone turns on, you know, in Star Wars, the really old, like the original Star Wars, where they've got that big pillar and he he switches it off before Obi-Wan fights Darth Vader. Remember that? Old Obi-Wan, I'm talking.
Yeah.
He dies.
I remember.
And but when they shut down the thing before he fights him, and it goes,
oh yes,
that's what I imagine it would sound like with that much reverb on one note. It would just roll
probably
out.
Probably how they made that sound.
Yeah, but if it did, I feel like that's what it would make as a sound engineer.
Have you seen how they make the seismic blast? I've seen like people recreate it, and it looks it just sounds sick.
Also, did you know that the laser sound effect is actually tensioned metal cables that they just hit, and it makes that?
It's so cool how they got like all the sounds and stuff.
Did you know the Jawas were actually starving African children?
So hungry.
So summarise, Joe. What is it?
It's actually just an effect put on the word "feed me."
Yeah, no, it's just reversed. What?
That's so bad.
In conclusion, the breakdowns are pretty lackluster, but I really loved the album. Really, really loved the album. A lot of this has gone onto my 2021 playlist. So it's a good sign of me liking an album. Also, quick like little tidbit is that Simon Neil is appearing on a lot of metalcore stuff. Is a pair. You remember the While She Sleeps band we did? You remember the While She Sleeps band?
Sorry, what?
You remember While She Sleeps?
Your voice is
While She
like
Sleeps?
cutting out every 2 seconds. What are
is
you saying?
happening?
What's happening?
You're like
Okay.
You remember
God,
While
it
She
was
Sleeps?
just like
anything you'll say. All I can do is. What are you saying about Simon Neil?
You remember While She Sleeps? Will, you already know this.
Yeah.
He's appearing in a lot of metal stuff recently. He's just appeared in While She Sleeps, his new album.
I mean, his
he
career
has got a
can't get
metal
any
band.
worse,
Sorry.
let's be honest. So.
He has got a metal
song
band.
called Nervous. He's appearing in a lot of metalcore stuff. It's pretty cool.
Well,
Pretty cool.
yeah.
It may be a sign
Stressed
that
out.
Biffy Clyro might be going in that direction. Will.
When I think about
Joe, that's what they
you, I
used
get
to
a
be.
little
Still-
excited.
I'm still waiting for Panic at the Disco's Metal
Brandon
album.
Urie, it's coming. Just you wait.
It will come
Joe
someday.
said so.
It will
Joe
come
said so.
someday.
Again, Simon Neil has a band that is metal.
Does he?
Yes, he has like a few bands that he's in, but that is he. So he does. I doubt he'll do that with Biffy. But that's how Biffy pretty much started. If you listen to their first album, it's all very shouty and things. So.
When you are near.
But they realised it was terrible, so they've gone much better.
Well, that's my album review. Have fun shitting on it.
We will.
Yeah,
That was half an hour.
go ahead.
Your review.
That was 20
Oh, Joe,
minutes.
what a fucking long hour.
Fucking bit different.
All right.
We're going to have to race through this because Joe
Thank you, Joe.
so long.
That's all right. I'm more than happy to be existing.
No.
Okay, here's my objective review. The goods and bads of this
I
album.
like this. The level-headed. Level-headedness.
We'll start off with the good points.
Woo!
Very distinct intro and outro. Sort of different. Those songs felt different. The first song felt like an intro, and the ending sort of pitters out at the end. So it's very definitive.
Yes.
When you actually listen to it, there is variation on this album. It's just hard to notice.
Hear that, Aiden? When you actually listen to it.
I wouldn't know what that feels like.
What are the good points?
He's
I think that was it.
He's got
I think that was
search for
it.
That's it. That's
Oh.
the good point.
I was getting quite excited.
Well, I'm trying to just
Just
reading
make
through all
one
my
up.
notes.
Just
and they're
make one
all-
up.
Okay. I didn't hate to listen to anything. Nothing was like,
Okay.
oh my god, turn this off. But it was all a lot of meh. And I think this was because when I was like, why does this sound so just shit? Because it's not shit because it was bad though. It was shit. Actually, no, it was bad. It was just so. Yeah, washed out. I think was it. It just horribly produced because just nothing ever sounded good. Not a single part was ever like, that's a good bit. It was only ever okay at best in elements. The rest of it was just bad, but I didn't hate any of it. So it was kind of a tricky one to sort of review. I thought his vocals were just so obnoxious that it was
Obnoxious?
to listen to.
It just is.
Like that, I don't often have to take breaks halfway through albums, but I did with this one, especially with it being so long. Like I get 5-6 songs in and think, "Fuck, I'm not even halfway. I need to stop." Whereas at least some other metal albums, while they felt long, I could often easily push through. Where I was done with this album way before even the halfway point.
A lot of metal albums are saved by the choruses, with like good singers. Whereas I don't.
That's another thing. I would say
it.
only 1 or 2 songs had good like hook moments.
Oh my! I would completely disagree. I think generally the choruses are like just all so good.
No, there was only one that I liked, and even then, I didn't actually like the hook line, but I thought everything else around it was all right. My least favorite was Impermanence, because it was the most heavy screamo shit. Which, funny enough, after I did my review, I looked online to see what other people were saying, and that's most people's favorite song on the album.
Really?
Because the fans are like, this is more Architects right here.
I don't know if people are like upset like at the minute. I don't know if people are like, oh, they're going soft again. Like, or people, when like Bring Me the Horizon did Ammo and everyone was like, oh my god, I'll rip the tattoo off my fucking arm. Like,
It's more like Drown.
I don't know if people are having that same reaction. I haven't looked, to be honest.
They're just tragic cunts anyway that think like that, to be honest. Carry on.
Yeah, so I just didn't like the album, but objectively, it had a few good elements, and I didn't hate any of the songs.
Okay.
Well, at least, yeah, Impermanence was just too much screamo, and then my favourites was kind of just only one song ever stood out to me as that's kind of I like that a little bit. The rest of them I almost picked for trivial reasons.
Okay.
Out of like a selection of probably about 5 or 6 songs that I thought were okay. So my third favourite was Demigod, because it was okay and a little bit different. Was my notes. I can't, but still, every song was still so washed out. It was hard to write notes. And also, the title Demigod reminds me of that Moana song.
Yeah.
So just that title alone, that was enough to. I'll put that in the third.
There.
Second, Little Wonder, because I knew Mike Kerr was in it. It reminded me of Royal Blood. So every time I heard it, I thought, Royal Blood.
I think the song name is very Royal Blood as well.
Well, it's because of Little Monster.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was another sort of in the pool of okay ones.
Good chorus.
Joe, just for reference, he starts singing at 1 minute 15.
1 minute 15. You carry
And then
on.
it's him. Carry on it, Denver.
Yeah, because you can tell because it's better at that point.
Yeah, much better.
Oh, no, it sounds good. I didn't know that was him. He sounds great in that.
And when you said that you didn't know which bit was Winston McCall in Impermanence,
The screaming bit.
that is 2 minutes 40. He starts being like fucking possessed and stabbed by multiple people.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't like the vocalist ever, really, in any of the songs that much. And then my first favourite was Black Lungs. Because I thought I had the
Sorry.
I thought it had the best hook. I thought it had the best hook, but I still actually disliked it when he said Black Lung. Because it reminded me of smoking, and smoking is bad for you.
Smoking is bad, Joe.
Smoking is bad. That's why
I thought the 2 songs with the best hooks in the album were Black Lung and Giving Blood. After that, I couldn't ever remember a single hook.
Black Lungs was probably the most Bring Me the Horizon song on the album as well.
reality.
And all the songs were too long, along with a long album.
It's long, isn't it?
Just long.
Just long.
Just cut the last
Everything.
verse and
I'm
chorus
surprised
out of
you're,
every track.
While you're at
Surprised
it.
your least favourite song, Denver, wasn't the last one. Dying is absolutely safe. I thought you'd find that really boring.
Yeah, but it was an outro, so that's allowed.
Nah, it's allowed. It's in the Denver rules.
I wasn't Flight Without Feathers quite slow. Was it?
That was like a
Yeah.
weird, like, vibe one, wasn't it?
Yeah, I just put. You see, that was that's what I meant with like how they were different. Like that song was very different to the others. Similar with Goliath, I thought was quite different, and Demigod.
Different is better.
And different is better. Although my notes for Animals was don't get why this one is good. A bit flat.
Ah, okay.
I
See,
disagree with that completely.
To be fair, when I first listened to Animals, I had the exact same reaction, and then it grew on me big time.
Like a cancer.
I think some people don't have time to let shit like this grow on them, Joe. I'm not wasting my time letting something like this worm its way into my brain. It's already full of just like terrible references that aren't funny.
It's worth it.
I don't want to add these terrible songs along with it.
It's so relaxing.
Really shows
classic,
you out, you know.
classic metal music, just relaxing.
It's like relaxing as if like you go into a spa, they're like, "Oh, you're here for the massage, are you?" Yeah, I'm here for the massage. All right, so would you like me to use my hands or these 2 bricks I found outside?
Or like
Thank you, Deborah. That was great.
I was thinking of you know those people where they put you on like a spinning plate and they throw knives at you. It's like that being some sort of like
Oh, it's
relaxing therapy.
Oh, wow.
It's like, we're going to spin you really fast on this like massive plate while throwing knives at you. Just relax.
Relax!
Like, shouting relax at someone doesn't make them relax. And that's my review.
Fantastic.
I'm okay with that.
You're not going to be okay with mine.
Oh.
Alright, so, much like the last album, I'm immediately biased from the get-go. So my album review won't be based on fact or logic, but rather how the album made me feel, personally.
Yeah.
And, spoiler alert, it made me feel bored. I am just so bored of these albums now. It's basically beyond a joke at this point. And they present about as much enjoyment as sticking your cock in a blender.
Oh my god.
Alright? That being said, it tended to lean more towards the Bring Me the Horizon vibe. And what I mean by that is that it wasn't just horrible noise all the time. They threw in some ambience and stuff for like flavour, like a bit of orchestra and stuff like that. But that flavour is still like a combination of vinegar and toothpaste for the most part, so...
Yeah.
Still not a good combo.
Thank you, Denver.
I just can't get round in my head when I'm sitting in my car and I'm thinking, how can you not like this?
Because if I was in my car doing that, I'd crash into a lamppost.
But it's
I
death
think
time.
listening to it in a car makes it even worse, this track, because then it sounds even more blended.
I'm just vibing to it, you know?
Joe, do you ever feel like...
No, I don't. Do you turn the music down when you go to like,
this is what I was gonna
McDonald's
ask,
or stuff,
right?
or you drive past people with the window open? Do you turn it down?
If I'm in a crowded area, I will
Okay.
turn this specific music down. I'm like,
I will admit, when I'm sat in like the car park or something in like Tesco, or like if I got the window down, I am embarrassed. I will turn it down because I don't want people to be like, oh,
Exactly,
metal.
because
Exactly,
it's embarrassing.
because it's
This music
shit.
is
But
embarrassing.
I also did the same thing with the fucking Taylor Swift album, so...
To be fair, I
yeah,
embrace
true,
them all.
that's
I don't give a
that's
shit.
embarrassing.
Like I would not be seen dead listening to metal in public.
Also did the same thing with the KSI album. I was like, I do not want to be seen listening to this.
Mine is
Basically,
popular.
Joe, it just sounds like you're very like you've got like an inferiority complex. with
It
music.
must.
You're
I
just
think
like-
it sounds like it, doesn't it?
you're so worried about it. It's just like maybe you don't listen to the albums. You ever considered that?
Do you like metal because you know it's bad, but you want it to be your friend, so you pretend to like it?
I
It's,
just
got-
want
it's,
a, I
it's
just want
fear
a
of
friend.
missing out.
Is metal like your abusive stepdad?
I just like it. I just like
Just wants
it.
to be loved.
I love
And-
metal, and metal loves me.
But no, it doesn't. But like I said, every time I listened to this album and it rolled over, like I never noticed. Like at one point, it swapped over to a Polaris album, and I only noticed that I was halfway through that album when I quit the game. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, also, I've only just realised, Joe's now picked 3 metal albums in a row now.
I have.
That's what I'm saying.
After
It's beyond,
the first
it is
one of
beyond a
saying,
joke.
I'm
It's
not picking
funny.
any more albums.
I know.
And then he's picked 2 more since.
And he still hasn't picked Black Bear. Joe's laugh of the day.
I love the theme tune.
God, I hate your laugh.
I'm sorry.
What laugh?
Just whatever one he chooses. The worst song for me was actually, it wasn't Impermanence, because I didn't really notice that one. I'm pretty sure it just white noised in my brain.
You just like put a filter there, so you'd say, oh, this is pleasant. I'm listening to Ed Sheeran. Just-
When I'm listening to Impermanence, I'm at a party I don't want to be at. No, the worst song for me was Discord is Dead.
Really?
It was a big oof, and like...
Discord. I thought it was Discord. I was like,
Oh,
oh, shit.
sorry, that is what I said. I just
did.
My brain, don't worry about it. It's a shame too, because the chorus isn't even that bad. It's just everything else about that song is awful.
That was almost in my that was in my top 3 when I was
Sorry,
started
Joe,
listening
save
to
it for your review.
And my
Oh, wait, your review's done.
Oh, sorry,
That's
it's
right.
done, so shut up.
sorry.
Suck your mum.
Oh, God. Alright, third favourite. No one's mentioned this yet. Meteor.
Good song.
Just felt big, you know? Like, it didn't hook me, but it's one of the only songs with a specific lack of awful noises in it. So I was okay with that. Thank
When I
you.
was listening to that one, I was just always excited for it to end because I knew when I heard that one that the album's nearly over.
Exactly. And that's another reason why it's good. Second favourite, Dead Butterflies. Once again, by no means a song that I'd listen to, but at least it shows some variety in the instruments, even if the lyrics are bad.
Dead butterflies.
Dead butterflies. And number one, Dying is Absolutely Safe. No screaming, and acoustic-y song, and a minimal amount of singing, and just at the end of the album, what more can a man ask for?
It's a win-win song.
Because that was one of the only ones that I could always define in my head that like it was going to be the end. And that's on the second and third listen. I'm not talking about when I first listened to it and got halfway through the Polaris album.
Did you actually enjoy that song, Aidan? You think it was a good? Okay.
None of these songs spark any joy for me.
No, none of these were added to my liked songs.
You know my 2021 playlist, Joe? None of them are going in. And I'm gonna start a brand new theme here at the end of my reviews, which for Joe's metal albums, which is my dishonorable mentions. I only have one specifically, and that's just Simon Neil screaming is unbelievably cringe. That's it. That's my dishonorable mention there.
I'll take it back. It's not a great
So
idea.
overall, please, Joe, these aren't expanding my knowledge of music. It's just killing off the remaining brain cells that haven't already been killed by alcohol. Please.
Okay.
I'm going to pick a metal album.
It's my last one. I promise.
If you do, I'm going to start shouting very loud.
Right, just leave it for a long while at least, Joe. Please.
We'll see.
If you do, you're just picking it to spite me.
It's a personal attack. You bitch.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
thought-
because if you were sorry, you would have picked something else.
I just thought you'd really like this one.
No, you didn't. You didn't think that at all.
I'm sorry.
You were just sat there laughing when you picked it, like.
This is a last metal one, guys. Until next week.
It's another one.
It's another one.
So, I feel like this was a shit tribute band of Bring Me the Horizon.
Oh.
They did everything.
Wounded.
Like, that's just
Left arm,
and
right
that
arm.
it felt like that the entire way through the album, to be honest. I didn't really like any of the simps too much. His voice was
Bloody simps.
just felt like a shit version of his. It was just everything I thought was the worst version of everything that Bring Me do. I definitely think they're going in the right direction in terms of just their music sounding a lot better than it used to compared to the previous album. Don't get me wrong. They keep getting better and better, but then I do think the lead singer isn't strong enough to maybe do that in the long run. Because I didn't really like the lead singer's voice at all, to be honest.
I mean, they've been doing it 10 years already.
I know, and it's only just now that they've started to make something a tiny bit better. So
You would have thought they'd get a real job by now.
yeah, to be honest. Yeah, all the things that you've kind of said is what I'd say. So I don't really have too much to say about it now. Other than, just like the massive lack of variety in the songs was completely... I never got through listening to the whole album once because it was just so long and too much.
I will say that I agree. There was not one time where I sat and listened to the whole album.
No, it's just too much. Like,
yeah.
Whereas, like, some metal albums, you can kind of deal with because there's nice choruses to kind of get you through. It gives you something to at least kind of look forward to, or just to help you get by. Whereas the verses never felt that much different to the chorus. And whether that's because, like you said, Denver, with it being so washed out, like it just nothing ever felt different to anything else. Which is why,
even when it was,
which is why. I feel like it was better when you had these other singers involved, except for Winston McCall. Go fuck yourself, Winston McCall.
Oh my god,
that's a personal attack.
Sound like the fucking devil.
Personal
Jesus
attacks
Christ.
every
he
time
looks
I
like
pick
the
it.
devil as well. Have you seen him?
Last time he was like, get a job. Now he's like, go fuck yourself.
It's
Well,
literally.
you can't say that about him. He won World War II for us.
Can't believe
I
it.
hated it. I hated his voice.
Actually, I haven't said that. What does Winston McCall look like?
He was in You Mean 60 Song Time Is Money, though, which is
Wasn't
a good
it?
song. So,
I think wasn't he the singer in Parkway Drive? I did research that somewhere.
in Park Life.
Parkway
Park
Drive.
I woke up in the morning.
No,
I've just put a picture of him in the chat, just in case you wanted to know.
Oh, it looks cool.
Oh.
he looks possessed.
I also
looks-
like his voice, by the way.
He looks like he's got Will Davey tattoos.
Very Wage War-esque.
More faces, please.
I really didn't like his voice. Joe, how can you say you like his voice when you literally said you didn't realise when he came in the song?
Well, I just thought
You've been done there, Joe.
I just thought it was it was Sam.
Piss off, Joe.
I thought it was Sam.
Can this
Sorry.
episode be called Joe Midwood contradicts himself 9 times?
Literally.
Sorry, I literally just thought it was Sam.
Yeah, that was the worst. Did I say that was the worst song? Or did I just start talking?
But
No.
Impermanence.
Yeah, Impermanence is my worst song.
Yeah.
It is just the most like their old stuff, and I fucking hate Winston McCall's voice. Which just makes it even 10 times
Love
worse.
his personality, though.
Yeah,
Well,
he
he
could be
looks
a
like
nice
Johnny
guy,
Knoxville.
but
Go fuck yourself anyway.
go fuck yourself anyway. Stop doing that.
Did you see
grow
that
up.
picture of him bringing on the music?
Grow up! He literally looks like Johnny Knoxville, but older.
Literally.
I'm Johnny
How old is he?
Knoxville, and I'm gonna fall down the stairs because
He's
I
only
can't do real
38.
pranks. Really? He looks like fucking 50.
How old is he?
He's quite old.
38, Will.
Oh.
I mean, anything over the age
Yeah,
of
definitely fucking
13
grow up.
and still
Jesus
enjoying
Christ.
metal is,
I was gonna say-
like too much.
Isn't Johnny
Yeah.
Knoxville like really old now? Isn't it? He's like 50s.
Yeah,
He's
Johnny
like
Knoxville
late
looks
50s.
younger than this guy, though.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I really like his bassist.
All right,
who
enough
can't
with the
actually...
personal attacks.
No,
So
no,
because-
his bassist literally can't see. Are you seeing that?
Seen what?
In the second picture, his bassist cannot see. I'm pretty sure she's got Lego hair.
He only needs to look down at his guitar though, so it's fine.
Why? He's only pressing 2 notes, and they're all on the top string.
So to try and forget that this album even happened, third for me was actually Nancy Mulligan. Second was Barcelona,
Nice.
and first was actually Castle on the Hill.
That's so good. Yes, we just.
And that's
This
it.
album is actually a 10, so there you go.
His brain just stops working. He's like, go back to Ed Sheeran. Fuck this.
No, sorry.
Can't believe it. Can't
Sorry.
believe it.
I really like that.
Third for me was Little Wonder, because Mike Kerr made something different happen, and I really like Mike Kerr's voice. And
And I really like different.
and I do really like different because it needed fucking different. Like Jesus Christ. Second for me was Goliath, because Simon Neil, don't care what you say, and I do actually really like his bit in it. So, and again,
Not
it
enough.
needed something different. So there we go. The song wasn't terrible itself. So, but first for me, by a fucking long mile, to be fair, and it's like the only song.
How do you define a mile as longer?
a long mile?
mile.
A country mile. There we go. That's what I was
I
trying.
mean, it's a mile is still a mile.
Shut your face.
Yeah, we're not in the country.
Not in the country. A country mile is a
It's
bit
like saying-
longer.
It's a little bit longer.
A little bit longer.
Centimetre.
It's like a baker's. It's like a baker's dozen. 13.
Which is a shame that it's my favourite because
Country
it's
mile
like
is actually 18 miles.
A bit fucking long here.
It's a country mile.
down yonder.
I like it. There's just a sign. It's just like this walk. It's a 2-mile walk, and you're walking for like 2 days. Like, where the fuck are we? Oh, you were taking. It's just a farmer stood on a bench and said, "Hey, you took the country mile, did you? This shit fucked up."
2 country miles is actually longer than a marathon.
I love country mile.
So country mile ahead, and I'm so like annoyed because I felt like listening to this song before this album came out. I was like, oh, maybe they'll actually make some better stuff, but they didn't. But number one for me was Animals. I feel like it's fucking way better than anything else on the album. And it's actually the only one I actually liked to listen to properly, really. Other than that, there was some decent backing, but again, I didn't really like his voice. Some of the lyrics are alright, but then it was always let down by other songs having terrible lyrics. So, Just
I
a
thought-
massive
I thought-
meh album, to be honest.
I thought the lyrics were really good. Like, probably
No, they weren't.
weaker compared to their other
Butterflies.
bands.
Dead butterflies.
Probably
dead
weaker compared to... Oh, I
butterflies,
can't believe it. Can't believe it.
Dead.
I'm surprised Black Lung wasn't your favourite song, to be honest, Joe, because that's
Well,
what you have.
I did...
Black Lung.
Wow.
Hey,
Black lungs.
Black Lung.
You ain't looking so good there, Black Lung. Fuck off, Michael.
The trouble is, right, I would love, actually, for Aiden to redo all the cutscenes with his voice.
Oh my god, yes. What an idea.
Aiden does fucking...
Just have some goddamn faith.
And it'd be really easy to do as well. Well, as it would take a long time, but, like, it'd be really easy just to, like, take the sound out
Dub
and
it
just
over.
have...
I could do that. I could dub a clip if you want.
Oh, shit, maybe we should do that.
Just a quick, like,
what
literally
an
like a
idea.
10-second video where we dub all the characters. Oh my god! And we could do the fucking, like, we could all get in on it, so we could do it from the first Red Dead as well. And Will could walk up and go like, Bill, Bill here, and I could be like, what do you want, John? You implore me? I implore you, John. You always were a smug son of a bitch.
CT does fucking Red Dead Redemption.
Oh, what an
That'd be
idea.
great.
I'm down.
Could you still have it, like that wouldn't be copyright either, right?
No. We could do that.
Because
Denver's like, I got an idea.
that may be actually an idea.
We did
that
say
could
about
do.
doing this ages ago, but just never did it.
I think we were talking about dubbing just random things. Like, we were talking about doing, like, Last of Us, but instead of Joel, it was Arnold Schwarzenegger.
And Arnold Schwarzenegger, yeah.
You are not my daughter. And I sure tell that your dad.
The hard will be trying to sync it up with the.
In fact, everybody that isn't Ellie in the game is Arnold Schwarzenegger. Those guns you gave him, they weren't his to sell.
Oh, fucking hell.
We want them back.
I just want Bill as Arnold Schwarzenegger. Would be fucking
Bill?
great. Yeah.
Oh, I like Bill.
Bill's like such a good character.
Anyway, we're going to do
Ratings.
ratings. Yeah, sorry.
9.5.
Fuck off. Just fucking die.
3.
Jesus Christ.
2.
3.5.
Oh, what's that? Is that nearly a 30?
It's nearly a 30.
Oh,
Wow.
it's the new best album.
9.5. Jesus fucking Christ.
What did it get?
It scores 18.
Hey, not bad.
I mean,
For a metal
over
album.
half of the rating is you.
He's laughing so Fuck's sake.
It's a common theme actually with the metal picks that usually over half the rating is Joe.
Oh, yeah, like...
What does that compare to other metal albums we've reviewed, Denver?
Well, so if you remember, only 4 weeks ago we did North Lane Alien, and that scored 6.
It's definitely better than that, to be fair.
over double the rating of that.
Polaris, The Death of Me scored 16.
Right.
Also, you gave that one a 9.
Ah,
Let's have a look.
deserved. Well deserved 9.
And then before that, though, it was a while. Actually, Aiden picked the last metalcore album, which was Issues. That scored 27.5.
Oh, fuck
Hey,
off.
that's right. It's just because I picked it. That's the reason.
Oh,
it's
I
not
can't
even that it's
believe it.
metal. We just
And,
hate
well,
Joe.
funny enough, also, but Aiden's pick before that was also a metalcore.
Was it? What was that?
The We're Alive Monomania
Ah, it was more rock.
Oh, that wasn't that because I had to pick that for Joe?
for Joe, yeah. And that
actually
scored
decent.
29.
That was actually decent.
So I'm just really good at finding metal albums.
Pick more like that, Joe, please.
Just pick like that.
While She Sleeps, You Are We scored
Dayseeker was decent as well, I remember.
16.
So it's actually quite up there then for a metal album that I
You did again pick fucking
9.5.
9.5.
You gave it 9.5.
I mean, it scores, to put that in perspective, it scores the exact same as Z Clarity.
Fuck my life.
Which was an actual album with real music on it. As
But
opposed
nobody
to
gave it higher than a
compilation of noises.
6.5. And Joe gave it a 1.5.
What, Zed Clarity?
Yeah.
Did I?
Yeah.
Can't even remember it.
Too much reggae must have been.
You didn't even say Clarity was the best song,
Oof.
which is just wrong.
I'm so different. I like different things. I'm Joe Midwood.
I like life.
I really like metal.
My
music
favourite part of
because
life is death.
This is when it
because
ends.
It makes my willy feel hard when I listen to it.
It's so peaceful when you watch life be drained out of somebody.
No, he's sleeping.
What's the next?
Sleeping.
What's the next album?
Next album is Justin Bieber Justice.
Is that new?
Came out 2 days ago.
Whoa,
I was actually going to
kinda
say.
cool.
I was wondering if you were going to pick that one. I saw that it came out.
That's really cool, actually.
Yeah, so it's pretty soon. It's between that and picking Tom Grennan's album. But this came literally 2 days ago. I was like, I can't not pick it.
And look, it's got the Kid Leroy on it,
It has.
and everyone's favourite.
Didn't he only just release an
Burner
album
Boy.
last year as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, it changes. We're going through changes. Oh, he did a song with Post Malone on that album.
Yeah, it's quite good.
No.
The album as a whole wasn't very good though.
What about? Hang on, this has got an MLK interlude. Is that actually talking about Martin Luther King?
It's actually Martin Luther King
That's-
talking, yeah.
Oh, I thought it was Machine Gun
Gun
Kelly.
Kelly. I did as well. I was like,
Machine Gun
Machine Gun
Kelly. You feeling alright, Machine Lung Kelly?
Yeah, Machine Gun Kelly.
Fuck off, Mark! For God's sake. Also, so it's got Holy on it as a song with Chance the Rapper, who is just terrible, isn't he?
He's just a terrible person.
I love it when he comes in because it's just like, bearing in mind, Holy's not a great song to begin with, but then he goes like, oh, Chance the Rapper, and he goes, "That's with you in the
I like some of his own stuff, but it's not great on that song.
I
But
don't believe it. Your heart is classy. I fuck bitches and I smack you like Joe Pesci.
Got any closing thoughts, Joe?
Did you know the first person to ever be convicted of speeding was only going 8 miles an hour?